research group. And yeah, as you see, the title of my presentation is Web Tools for Semantic Publishing. You don't see any wiki here, so the reason for that is because we don't develop any wikis. And but we have a very strong interest in semantization and semantic wiki semantization. So this means that we actually have some common goals, and probably we have some common challenges, and we don't have to be working on exactly the same thing, but we probably can fight some stuff together. So that's basically the aim of this talk, to give you some flavor of the things we are doing, and yeah, let's hope for collaborations. Okay, so what we're developing are actually semantic, basically standalone projects. So they don't mean that you have to use any system. They don't, or at least the ones I'm going to present you today, they don't say that, okay, you have to use only Semantic Media Wiki or only Drupal. You can reuse them anything you want. But we actually did put some work into integration of these systems into some web frameworks, because otherwise people will not believe us. So we've done, and yes, our main contribution is basically mostly, so most of our integration work was done in Drupal. And it's basically, all of it is put on beta planetmath.org. So this is, let's say, the instance of what we're doing. So basically this is a mathematical encyclopedia, and yeah, we try to put semantics into that. There is also actually some work from people outside our group who integrated some of our tools into MediaWiki, and quite some time ago we also did some integration with Vanilla too. I don't know if anyone knows that. Probably not. Okay, so today I'm gonna actually speak about 3 projects, and basically the first project is called JOBAD, and it's about having a semantically annotated document. And how do you make this document be active? How do you, I don't know, you click somewhere and then it starts changing the presentation somehow. So because if you put semantic into a document and all you get, and you don't get any additional interaction, that's kind of sad, because semantic can really bring you a lot of interaction along. The second one is that we have some quite different ideas about authoring semantic documents. So this is a big problem. This is actually my project. Yes, and so any suggestions would be very welcome. And if you want to do semantics with mathematics, you should definitely talk to us, because this is our, yeah, really field of expertise, I think. Okay, so I'll start with the first project, JOBAD, and basically let me just show you what you see here. So this is actually an article from the archive, this Cornell preprint archive. It's on some physics, which I don't understand. But anyway, what happens here is that a user clicked here in the middle of a formula on some part of the formula, and you get a menu. So you can click on the bug if you found the bug in the formula, or you can start a discussion, or you can start a forum. And the thing is that this is all localized. So this means that you don't need to start a new thread and then you basically say, yeah, in the formula, in the chapter 2, the first formula, la la la. You just click on the thing, you find bug, you can ask the question right away there. Yes, and basically you get this, yeah, this kind of menus. Here on the right side, you also have a panel which says, at this position or on this row, there are ongoing discussions. Yeah, so basically the user, so there are some discussions which point to some parts of the wiki, of the document. And basically on the right hand side, you see a clear sign, okay, there is a discussion going on about this part of the text. You can do folding of paragraphs. Yes. Okay, so these are actually the non-semantic parts. Okay, so the real semantic parts are here. Imagine you look at this formula and you press on the cross, which is basically the Cartesian product, right? So basically, you would like to be able to click anywhere on the formula and to have the system tell you what are you looking at, right? So this is something that we really want to do. Something also called semantic folding. So if you have a formula like this, then you can click then on semantic fold, and then it folds it into some other type of representation. You can hover over it, and then it says this is the contribution from acceleration. So there is a lot of potential to have a lot of actions going on inside the document as soon as you have the semantic data. And yeah, so exactly, the important part, as soon as you have semantic data, you need to also somehow take use of it, or you need to basically try and use this. And this JobFrame framework is about doing exactly that. You have some semantic annotated stuff. It tries to help you do the presentation right. So it's a JavaScript framework. What it does, it basically allows services to kind of come together on a document, so semantic user services, UI services, and basically do some changes. It's quite lightweight, based on jQuery. Yeah, and it's modular, so basically just as maybe in our system, you can just create an extension, drop it in, and hopefully works. Okay, that was JobAd. The next part is about the authoring. So, okay, actually in the wiki context, authors are obviously the main asset the wiki community has. If you have no authors, yeah, you can do any kind of development you want. You're not gonna succeed. So I don't know, until now I've seen in most of the cases of wikis where wikis were deployed that the editing support for the authors was basically just a text box, right? And yeah, the question is this really the technology of 2012? Well, it's not, but we like plain text. Plain text is something that we really want to stick to, probably. WYSIWYG is nice, but yes, too heavy, buggy. This is probably what we heard before as well. But still, there are possibilities to get rid of the text box, and I didn't really see any extension, at least for other editors like CodeMirror or Ace. I don't know, maybe I'm just not familiar with them, but I would give them a try. Okay, but so semantic editing, however, is not only about the right editor and having nice shortcuts and this kind of stuff. But actually what you would also like it to have is maybe to do stuff like suggest annotations to you. So for example, you write a text, and like in Microsoft Word, when you have a typing mistake, that it underlines something and says, probably you've done a mistake in this word. You probably want to have something like this also for semantization process, some kind of a NLP-based service which looks at what you're typing and gives you some suggestions. And this is especially important when you want to put a lot of semantic information into the document. So I will actually show you some documents with a lot of semantic information, and you would like, for example, also the editor to, especially for example in a mathematical formula, you have probably the same variable, let's say velocity. You probably have it in the same document 50 times. And if you want to annotate it, you don't want to you don't want to go over each instance of your velocity variable and say, oh, this is the velocity, right? You would like also the editor to reduce the time you spend on annotating things, because people just want to be productive. They don't need to annotate really. And also another problem that we more and more come across is as soon as the more annotations documents get, the harder it becomes to read them. So I think I have an example. So this is okay. So we work with LaTeX. We don't really use the wiki syntax, but I hope you know LaTeX. So yeah, so this is, for example, an unannotated document, and this is how it looks like after we annotated only with 2 types of annotations. And here we have just some references to some knowledge base, and we also have something like transclusion. And as you see, it just becomes impossible to read. But this is actually the prerequisite for having these kind of nice services, that when you click on the cross product, that it actually knows what it means. You basically have to put all this work in there. So so the subject of editing semantic documents, it's not only about having a WYSIWYG or not WYSIWYG. There are really deeper problems that one needs to solve. Yeah, since I've tried to do I've done quite some work into creating extensions for editors, and my current experience is that editors are nice until you really look into them, until you really want to do something with them. So most of them kind of sell you the thing that they do simple things in a simple manner, and the complex things that they are possible to be accomplished. To be honest, this is not really the truth. Many times you spend more time integrating a service into an editor than you spend doing the service. And this is frustrating, because you don't get credit for creating an editor. And this is also another bad point. So, and another big problem is also maintenance. So let's say the editor changes completely independent from the extensions sometimes, and they don't always want to yeah, be backwards compatible. So yeah, so even if I created an extension, who will maintain it? This is also a very big problem. So right now I'm gonna show you some demo of yeah, basically an editor, or basically a platform, this Stratsys platform, which allows you to create semantic services which are editor independent. So no, this is ACE. ACE editor. It's a web-based editor. Oops. Okay, so this is the document, the ugly document I showed you before. And yes, okay. Probably I need to give you some more background information so that you understand what you're seeing. So basically, this platform is based on operational transform. This is something that Google Docs uses so that many people can look at the same document from different sites. So basically, the first feature I'm showing is that you basically have editing just like in Google Docs. Yeah, so you can just, so I know it's so this is actually not the important feature. The important feature is that what I'm gonna do right now, I'm just opening another terminal, and I'm running a service, and this service knows to connect to this editor window. Oops, does it go? And as soon as it connects, what it does, it basically gets some of the annotated stuff and hides the annotations. And as soon as you click twice on the hidden stuff, it expands it back. You can change whatever you want. You can double click again. It hides the annotations. And you can edit then the text. And basically what you're seeing is that a service running on a completely different, it can be, so I could be running this web page on a Windows browser, in Internet Explorer, and my service to be Linux based, running on a completely different server. So you kind of detach the editor from the service. And as you see that you can detach it also in a way that you can even make UI, kind of UI enhancements to the editor, which is something that I didn't think it was possible. And then I run the second service, which again connects to the same editor and basically does some other types of substitutions. So the second service basically allows transclusion. So everywhere where something was referenced, it replaces the reference with the real value. And yeah, and basically right now what you see in the end is the document as if it were not annotated, and you can read it so much better now. Okay. So the idea is, I'll try to go pretty fast about it. So the idea is basically you have, imagine you're writing a C program, right? And you decide to do it in Google Docs. So you basically put your code in Google Docs, you start writing C, and then you invite your friend, John the compiler. He's the C compiler, yeah? He likes reading C, he likes looking at problems. And basically he sees all the modifications you make, and then he can basically in the document underline things we've read, saying, oh, this is definitely a mistake. And the John the compiler can sit anywhere, and it doesn't matter what process he does behind the scenes. The same thing can be, marry the term hider and so on. These are basically the services which you've seen before. So the idea is that you can decouple the editor from the services. Okay, so besides this editing or new UI possibilities which you can make with this kind of services, actually the idea behind it was to be able to integrate more complex services like NLP stuff. So you can do natural language processing while the user is doing something and then suggest stuff to the user. This is otherwise just not possible. And the cool thing about it is that as soon as you developed one semantic service, you just don't care where people use it. They basically can integrate their I don't know, Eclipse, web editor with your service. So you don't care about the details there any longer. Okay. And the third one is, doing mathematics on the web, and more specifically semantic mathematics. So as soon as you want to do mathematics, you want to do LaTeX. That's probably also clear. Now there are two possibilities. There is this LaTeX ML project that we don't develop it, but we have a strong part of the development in our team. And there is Mathjax, and I think Mathjax is what right now Wikipedia does for mathematics. Mathjax basically does two things. The first one, it enables, basically if you have a web browser which doesn't, so if you have a web browser who cannot display math, you just embed Mathjax there, and does mathematics look good? So basically, this is a bridge technology. So this is a technology that is useful until every browser switch to good rendering of mathematics. And it can convert simple text to MathML, basically. LaTeX ML, on the other hand, yes, it has a very good coverage of LaTeX. The only thing it knows how to do is to transform LaTeX into XHTML and some other formats, actually. And it also allows you to create semantically annotated documents. So this is the interesting part. And again, I have a short demo. So this is locally on my computer. This page was generated by just compiling some LaTeX. So let's go to web editor. There. Yeah, so it does this conversion on the fly from LaTeX. We support also metadata. So basically, if you, one sec, sorry. Unfortunately, this is the only way. So yeah, basically, here you had some LaTeX macros to generate metadata, and then they are in XHTML as RDFA. And this is the reason why you don't want to create your own LaTeX. This is a sort, yeah. Basically, this is the LaTeX document for this. This is why you don't want to do your own LaTeX compiler. But
how LaTeX normally looks.
Yes, that's exactly. And you'd be surprised how much bad LaTeX is around. And we have a lot of experience with that. Okay. And the second part I want to show you is Math Web Search, which basically one sec. So it basically allows you to write a LaTeX statement, and so here you get it rendered. This basically means that the LaTeX statement went to the LaTeX ML. It got back the result, and now the red things are very important because the red things can be substituted with anything during the search. So basically, when I click the search right now. Yes. What was the? Yeah. So basically, it was an so I was looking for an integral from 0 to infinity, and then for any variable x dx. So as you see, x was substituted actually by t. So this is basically another service that we already have quite some progress on. So searching mathematics. Okay. So that's basically it. Yes. Thank you. And questions?
Searching in the mathematical documents, I think that the feature of just put your mouse on this sign of Cartesian Cartesian product and watch what it is. It's really nice for educational materials and for maybe for papers too. And can you search by such just symbols?
Yeah, you can basically write.
Yeah.
You can basically write in the interface.
Just to watch in what cases such notation will use.
Yes. So basically, you can basically write the LaTeX which compiles to the same thing. So basically, okay. So the real thing is that right now the mathematical corpora, they're not semantically annotated. Right? So basically right now, the only searching possibilities are on non-semantic formulae. So this means that basically, if you have somebody who uses the Cartesian sign for completely different things, we just don't know about it because it's not semantically annotated. But basically, for us, basically, it doesn't matter. So if we index, as soon as we have the semantically annotated formulae, we can use exactly the same search engine, and basically, as soon as you search for cross product, it will really make sure it's a cross product and not some other notation. But now we can do it as well, but it will be only presentational.
Yep.
Yeah, Christoph Lango is in our group, or was in our group. so yeah, obviously we know. Okay, so we don't really store the mathematical stuff in RDF. So we have our own format called OMDoc, which is specialized for mathematical knowledge. And yeah, so but we do have yeah. So Christoph kind of created some kind of ways of exporting OMDoc data to RDF. So you can export some parts of it, but not really. I don't think that work was complete in some sense. It was good enough, but I don't think it was complete. Yes?
Yeah, we have another question from our remote participants. Did you look at Apache Stanball for the job at backend? Oh, here's a question. I have no idea what this Apache thing.
I will take a look, definitely. No, no, so Apache.
Also Red Sys.
So.
And first is Apache Stanball.
No, I don't know it, but I'll take a look. But what about the Red Sys? Because there I can.
Red Sys?
Or what?
Also Red Sys for the
I don't really understand the question though. How Red Sys connects into that.
Yeah, they just propose you to use it as the backend.
Okay, I'll take a look. Definitely.
Sounds good.
Yep.